The first step towards reducing your impact is to calculate your organization's carbon footprint. But what is a carbon footprint? It is an indicator estimating the impact of your activity on the environment, and more precisely, the quantity of greenhouse gases emitted to satisfy your consumption, in the broadest sense. The main sources of emissions include transport, responsible for over a fourth of total emissions in Europe, 71.7% of which is produced by cars. While this is the best known example, there are many other areas to consider: energy consumption, buildings, digital technology, waste management, etc. So how do you calculate your carbon footprint? Several methods exist, each taking different indicators into account. Confused? Let's get to the bottom of it. The best known method is the GHG protocol, which is widely used internationally, but there are also some other country-specific methods, such as ADEME's bilan carbone methodology in France. GHG protocol is based on a categorization of emissions into 3 scopes, each corresponding to a type of carbon footprint and divided into emissions items. Scope 1 corresponds to direct GHG emissions, for example, gas heating in your office. Scope 2 covers indirect energy-related emissions, such as office lighting. Finally, Scope 3 covers other indirect emissions, such as your employees commuting to and from work. This represents the majority of your emissions, and it would be a mistake not to take all of these into account. As a travel agency or tour operator, you need to include the following emissions in your carbon footprint: emissions generated by the activity of your company and its suppliers, emissions generated by your employees' business and home-to-work travel, emissions generated by your customers' air travel. You've got it all figured out, but you're thinking that calculating it all by yourself is going to be a little bit tricky? Don't panic. There are website calculators to help you. Let's discover together some of the most used, efficient, and effective calculators available in different languages. Green Tripper Calculator, available in French, English, and Dutch, allows you to calculate the carbon footprint of your trips, compare it to another transportation option, and contribute financially to climate projects. The Carbon Footprint Calculator, available in English, French, Spanish, Italian, and German, lets you calculate your carbon footprint as individual, small enterprise, or big enterprise. The Corporate Carbon Calculator from Good Planet Foundation, available in French and English, lets you calculate your company's carbon footprint. Once you've calculated your footprint, you'll know which emission items are priorities for reduction in your case. Let's get on with implementing best practices.